Hello again, everyone. We are once again at the end of another month here at the end of November. That means our October stats are available. So let's get into the numbers for Polk County, Florida. Polk County, we saw 1,061 closed sales in October 2024. This is compared to 1,130 a year ago. That's a decrease of 6.1%. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales, 19.9% of all sales were cash sales compared to 20.8% a year ago. That's a decrease of 4.3%. Median sales price $316,999 compared to $325,470. That's a decrease of 2.6%. Average sales price $337,146. That's compared to $340,314. That's a decrease of 0.9%. So we did see a little bit of a price drop October 2024 compared to 2023. Median percent of original list price, sellers received 96.7% of list price compared to 98.3% a year ago, a decrease of 1.6%. Median time to contract, 45 days for a home to go under contract. Compared to 27 days a year ago, an increase of 66.7%. Median time to sale or closing, 90 days compared to 74 days a year ago, a decrease or an increase of 21.6%. New pending sales, 1,048 compared to 1,214, a decrease of 13.7%. New listings, 1,558 compared to 1,758 a year ago, a decrease of 11.4%. It's kind of one of the first months we've seen a decrease in new listings in a while. Pending inventory, 1,507 compared to 1,819, a decrease of 17.2%. Active inventory, 6,109 homes active compared to 4,171. That's an increase of 46.5%. And then month supply of inventory, we're at 4.9 month supply of inventory in Polk County compared to 3.3 month supply of inventory a year ago, an increase of 48.5%. Tune in and we'll talk a little bit more about why these numbers are where they are in October and what we see moving forward. So as we look at those numbers, there are a few things that sort of stood out for me. Activity still pretty slow. Month supply of inventory increasing. Prices decreasing a bit. But let's kind of look back at what happened in October. And our inventory is really high, and homes aren't moving. But if you remember, October we saw back-to-back hurricanes hit our area. And I don't know about you, but I know from my experience, most people aren't looking at homes when they're both preparing for hurricanes and then recovering from the aftermath. We did have areas in in Polk County that experienced significant flooding. Not so much wind damage, but we did have areas of flooding, and then just general storm debris. Down branches and things like that. And obviously there are people who did experience damage from down limbs and things like that. And so, lots of people dealing with FEMA and recovery efforts and insurance. And when you're spending all your time doing that, there's not a whole lot of time to be looking for a home. And so October was very, very slow. And then even going into November, we had the elections in early November, and everyone put things on hold until after the election. So October had a lot of things going against it in terms of the housing market and picking up. And additionally, mortgage rates actually went up during the month of October. So that didn't help either. So a lot of factors really impacting our housing market here in Polk County and Winter Haven for the month of October. And then, of course, we get into the holiday season, and so things are expected to be pretty slow for November and December. But everyone that I've talked to, all the experts I follow, expect things to pick up pretty quickly in January. We do expect to see mortgage rates start to drop again. We expect when that happens that buyers are going to come back to the market, and so our inventory numbers are going to start to decrease. We're going to see more competition for those homes. If you can get out and shop and you're in the market for a home, now is probably a pretty good time. Sellers have had their homes on the market maybe for a little while, so they may be more willing to negotiate. They may be willing to offer seller concessions, money towards closing costs or buying the rate down. So there's some opportunities there if you're a home buyer. If you're a home seller, I can just tell you to preach basically patience. We've had a rough go of it here in October, and then November and December are historically slow. I know that's what I've been telling my sellers, to kind of prepare for a slow November and December as far as the real estate market goes, but that things should pick up in January and February. And then before you know it, we'll be into the spring season, and then things are going to really pick up. But if you are a seller and you are anxious to sell, then I think looking at the possibility of offering seller concessions, money towards closing costs or an interest rate buy down would be prudent. It's what a lot of builders, or actually all the builders, are doing. And they're still selling. So, people are still buying in this market. There's people buying in every market, honestly. But those incentives are making a difference for the builders, and they can make a difference for you as a seller as well, especially if you have some wiggle room and you've got some equity. You might not make as much as you would have a few years ago, but you can still make some good earnings from the sale of your house if you're strategic with your realtor in terms of pricing and what incentives you might want to offer. So that's kind of what we're seeing in the market and what I would expect to happen the next couple months and then into January. Apologize for my voice. I am getting over a pretty serious bout of bronchitis. It seems to have affected my voice as well. I am on the mend though, so happy about that. I do want to wish all of you out there a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend time with your family or friends, whoever's important to you, and that you have a great Thanksgiving meal with them. And now the election's over, we can not talk politics and just try to enjoy each other's company and have a great preparation for the holiday season. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and remember, you can't miss with Chris. Have a great day.